Hello and welcome back to the Attacking Football Podcast. What has happened at Manchester United? Ruben Amorim is gone, sacked after a turbulent spell that was meant to bring identity and success back to Old Trafford. So why did it unravel so quickly? Today we're breaking down what went wrong, whether it was tactics, results, dressing room issues, or decisions above him that sealed his fate. We'll look at who could step in right now as interim manager, what they need to do to steady the club, and then who we turn to in the summer as a permanent appointment. Joining me this week, we have Ollie was right, who is now Ollie is right. We've got Paddy, we've got Yassin. Boys, welcome back. How we doing?
Oh, good, baby. It's nice to have a couple of new faces on the pod.
Yeah. Ollie, we haven't seen you in quite some time. The rumours are abound with Ollie coming back to the club, the real Ollie. And you've just appeared out of the woodwork on the podcast again. Welcome, mate.
Thank you very much. Very coincidental timing, I'm sure.
Yeah, yes. We've had this plan for months, right?
Well, I always knew he was going to come back, and so just waiting for the right moment to get on the pod for it.
Maybe we'll get an announcement during today's recording. But before we get into Ollie, I want to talk about Ruben, because...
Should also introduce Yas, come on!
I did introduce Yas.
Yas, say hello, come on, say hello.
Hi, how is everyone doing? Thanks, Ellie.
Welcome, Yas. You're part of the furniture, mate. I apologise.
Okay.
Okay, Paddy, do I have your permission to talk about Ruben Amorim?
You're the host, baby. I just want to be a bollocks.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Ruben, when he was at Sporting Lisbon, wiped the floor with Manchester City after being announced as the new Manchester United manager. We were all giddy with excitement for what was about to come. New system, new attitude to everything. It was looking fantastic. Paddy, what went wrong?
What went right? I think
Yeah.
the main thing for me, anyway, is we hired a manager who, before he joined us, was interviewed at Liverpool. And whilst at Liverpool decided not to go with him because he was so dead set on that formation. And Liverpool said they're not going to spend the money because it's going to cost way too much to transition into a side like that. And then in come INEOS, who rejected him during the summer, invested in players who were suited towards Ten Hag. Yes, you can say your piece in a second, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But invested money into a side, like as in Mazraoui, don't get me wrong, good player. Not a right wing back.
No.
So there's a lot of money invested that summer in players that weren't fit for the system. And then it's a manager who's forced to come in midway through the season when he didn't want to.
No, he didn't want to join, did he?
It was basically a poison chalice. He was set up to fail in the first season. He threw away games. He played the reserves. He played the youth team. He played players like Obi who just weren't ready in the final games of the season. There's like a lot of players who played at the end of last season who weren't ready. And then that created a statistic that everybody ran with, as in the amount of games that he won as a percentage, which is always going to be lower if you're not playing full strength.
100%.
But then not winning the Europa League final was similar to what happened with Ole at United the first time around. It's one of those moments where if you win it, it's different. You get an opportunity to prove yourself. Fans aren't on your back as much. We would have had Champions League football. We wouldn't have been ready for Champions League football, but we would have had it. But yeah, a lot of stuff went wrong. I think it was just a bad fit from the start. United never planned to invest the money. I don't particularly blame Amorim. I think he could have done better, but he wasn't given what he was promised, and he promised that he would play a certain way. And then as soon as it didn't work because the team wasn't suited to it, they said, okay, well, it's not our fault, we hired him, and then you have to be pragmatic. But it didn't work.
Yes.
I think somewhere down the line there was a breakdown in communication, because when you look at the last summer transfer window, there was a player available for £35 million, Jeremy Frimpong, who was literally made to play a 3-4-3. Then United decided for some way not to go for him and go for Mbeumo. I'm not debating the quality of those players, but it was clear at this moment that United are not intent on building a 3-4-3. And from what we understand, maybe Ruben was okay with that, maybe he wasn't, but it was clear from the summer that this squad is built for a transition to a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, however how you call it. And honestly, I don't think Ruben leaves us in a bad place like we were when Eric left us.
No.
I think the team actually is better in some aspects mentally. The personalities that the team shown in the last game, coming back away from home. A lot of games this season when we were down away from home, we would have lost these games. That Liverpool game, after we conceded the 1-1, I don't think anyone in here was even confident we would get out of Anfield with a draw, let alone a win. So I think he leaves us in a better place.
Yeah.
But this thing was not working. When you have a 32% winning percentage, you can go out and say, I need more money. What you are presenting is not working. So you can't ask for more. You can't go for your bosses and tell them, oh, please give me 300, 400 million more to make a team that works in a 3-4-3 when you haven't proven that your 3-4-3 works. I think if Ruben has proven in a way that his 3-4-3 works, United were willing to invest in it. But I don't see how you could even justify an investment in this when it was clear that it was not working. To agree with Paddy, I think the Europa League game destroyed any chance for this working. If Ruben had beaten Tottenham, this goes in a totally different way.
I think though, if you look at the squad though, like as in this, for the board to look at somebody like Amorim and be like, okay, the squad is good enough to suit the system. There's no way on earth anybody could look at Casemiro at his big old age and Bruno Fernandes and think that's a pivot which can work. No. Nobody in the world thinks that's a pivot which can work on more than 2 games a week. Like Casemiro, don't get me wrong, he's had a renaissance. Yeah, grand, whatever. He can't play 2 games in a week.
No.
Yeah, but
I was just going to say, I think it might have unraveled quicker if we had have won the Europa League final.
Absolutely, because if we
it
didn't
would have come
sign a
crashing down around his
midfielder.
ears a lot sooner than it did.
Absolutely.
Ollie, a lot of, in fact, every single Manchester United manager post Sir Alex Ferguson has been tried in the court of public opinion, and that's ultimately where they've lost their jobs. Where do you think Ruben lost the fan base? Because he lost the fan base.
Yeah, I think it. So when you talk about the court of public opinion side, number one, you have to look at Manchester United fans. I think
idiots.
And
they are stupid.
Largely, yes. However, like if you look at like even idiots have their good sides, right? And I've always said, you know the phrase like a striker can run himself into form, like this idea when things just aren't going right. A striker can put in the work. He can, do the pressing. He can keep getting his way to chances. He can keep running his guts out until something just falls the right way and he gets that stupid fucking tap in and suddenly the floodgates open.
Yeah.
My opinion on United managers has always been that United managers can Manchester United their way into form, or at least their way into popularity, which is to say, play attacking football, get the youth involved.
Attacking football.
Yes. Yep. See, there we go. Yes.
Play us.
Sorry. Someone says the name of the movie during the movie.
Yeah. I love it.
But play that, that attacking front foot football. Play the youth. Don't be an ideologue. Be willing to change things. Have some level of in-game management. If nothing else, look to change a fucking game.
Yeah.
But if you look at Amorim, like, I think, okay, like you can map out when people lost kind of hope. Some people lost it after that Europa final because we looked as impotent as an 80-year-old man in hospice.
Yeah.
Like that was just a pathetic final all around. It was 2 shit teams playing shit football for 90 minutes. And Tottenham happened to be least shit on the day. Congratulations to them.
But goal.
It wasn't. Yeah.
But that's one moment when people lost some hope. And then maybe, you've got your next tranche of fans who maybe they lose hope a month into the season or 2 months into the season where we're not seeing any tactical changes. You have these new players. You have Cunha, you have Mbumo, you have, you kind of have these opportunities. Shesko, yes, thank you. You have these opportunities to take a step forward. You're only playing once a week. And, a month into the season, things aren't really changing. You're getting a center back coming on every 70 minutes, and Kobe Mainoo's not playing except for hit your, damn, here you go, bro, kind of minutes, for lack of a better phrase.
Pity minutes.
Yep, he's getting his 15 minutes, and that's a player who the fans love too. And I don't want to make it about player power or anything like that, because I don't think that ultimately was a deciding factor here. However, I think you had fans, kind of losing themselves on Amorim in these tranches. Grimsby was another one. I mean, I don't think any Manchester United manager could survive in the court of public opinion, losing to a team 4 divisions below us.
LVG did.
Huh?
LVG
Louis
did.
van Gaal, yeah. Louis van Gaal did.
That's true. Yep. But then Louis van Gaal was sacked after winning the same day he won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Horrendous management by the old.
Does
board.
it surprise you?
Let's
be honest.
And Louis van Gaal, it was his second game in charge, so it was a lot easier to accept it.
Yeah.
And he was playing the youth team, so it was a lot easier to accept it than losing to Grimsby, especially when you're throwing Mbuemo, Bruno, Cunha to try and win the game. So
that's fair. Anybody can lose on penalties.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And especially we have fucking Onana in goal. Like,
I think let's try not to give our audience PTSD.
Because in that game with Onana, that was the point where we were all like, this fella is there's no coming back for him. I do also like Ole. I'm gonna just say it like this: it's not only about there being points of people losing faith, and you're going to see it with the next manager again. We have this weird thing in our fan base now where people wanted Amorim to fail because they were so hamstrung on being right when it came to Ten Hag. Yes. And now it's the exact same thing. We have part of the fan base which are like, no. Amorim was going to get it right. Don't get me wrong. I'm patient. I wanted it to work. But even after the Wolves game, I was like, I can't be arsed with this anymore. I need something. And I'm a nerd. I like underlying data. I could see it getting better. But my dear Lord.
It was just tough to watch.
It was frustrating. Like, I didn't even watch the game there yesterday where Darren Fletcher took the first one because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and watch Marty Supreme because at least that's going to entertain me.
Yeah.
And it did, to be honest. It's a good movie. You should go watch it. I like table tennis as well. Yeah.
Is that the new Hugh Jackman film?
The new what?
Is that the new Hugh Jackman film?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Different movie.
Timothée Chalamet, the little small fella.
Oh, the one that's dating a Kardashian. Or Jenner. He's dating one of them. He thanked one of them in his acceptance speech for a SAG award the other day. Anyway, this is wildly beyond the pale. I want to talk about the circumstances that led to Ruben being relieved of his duties, because Sir Jim has said in multiple interviews over the past few months, it doesn't matter what happens, no results on the pitch, he's getting till the summer. Paddy, we revisited our predictions last week. I predicted that Ruben was going to go, and you said the same thing, and rightly so. Sir Jim has said he is getting till the end of the season no matter what.
He just burnt the house down.
He did. He literally poured gasoline and lit a match and walked out of the back door, didn't he?
He's like, fucking fire me. I can do it. He wanted to be backed, and then obviously he doesn't have the backing, he doesn't have the results, he doesn't have anything to be like, oh yeah, sure, we'll back you. No, you're not Sir Alex Ferguson. I also will keep on referring like Sir Alex Ferguson. But I'm just saying, you don't have the money in the bank or the credit in the bank to be able to go out and, like, as in, if any of us went to our manager like the next day and said, hey, you know what, you're a fucker, I fucking hate you, you're getting in trouble.
You're getting fired.
This morning.
Yeah, but you're a lawyer. You get away with that. Yeah, you're more important than me, okay? I can't go to my manager and tell him to go fuck off. I can if I say it jokingly, but I can't be like, hey, fuck you, motherfucker. I hope he doesn't watch this. To be fair, he doesn't like football. It's great.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yassin, just before we move on to interim candidates, I also want to talk about some things that Amorim got right while he was at Manchester United, because there's no denying the fact that some of the management decisions that he made at the club have benefited us in the long term. Moving on players like Garnacho, for example, getting some of the toxic players out of the club. I'm not going to go too deep into the Rashford situation, but one way or another, he was a distraction to the club and to the squad, and so he was moved on, rightly or wrongly, in terms of his importance to the team. But can you tell me some good things about Ruben Amorim and what he achieved?
I think actually he's leaving us in a better place in terms of team personality, in terms of physicality. The team is much physical than it was. For me, when I look about it, I'm looking this season with Ruben Amorim and Ten Hag's second season, because this is the best way to compare both of them, because this was Ten Hag's second season. It was the last time we had a manager starting the season, and I think right now we are in a better place as a team than we were under Ten Hag in his second season. You can see the team progressing. You can see this team if you put two midfielders, maybe a right back, maybe another experienced striker behind Sesko. With the right manager, I think the team can click on personality-wise, mentality-wise, physicality-wise. I think we are in a better place. I think everybody here knows I was one of Ruben's staunchest defenders. I wanted him to get at least till the end of the season. But like Paddy was saying, there was no way after Sunday he could. I mean, I myself couldn't agree with the fact you come out and say, God, all of you don't understand whatever the fuck you're doing, just get out of here. It doesn't work like that. You have not been doing your job right to ask people to do their jobs right.
You can't.
I think going after the board is always going to be always going to be a noose around your own neck, isn't it?
Especially as the board, to be honest, maybe didn't back him with enough money, but I don't think anyone here can justify throwing 300, 400 million more into whatever Ruben was doing. And let's be clear, if you are the manager of Barcelona, of Real Madrid, of Liverpool, of Chelsea, of Manchester City, you finish the season in 15, even if you win the Europa League, you are going to get fired. I don't care when you took charge of the team.
Look at Spurs.
Their patience with them was a sign of backing. He didn't appreciate that. And I think that's, in a way, why Sir Jim Ratcliffe specifically took it personally. Because I have been with you through when like Ole was saying, you literally lost all of the fan base. Some you have lost them after Tottenham, some you have lost them after Grimsby, some you have never won them over from the start because they were Ten Hag defenders or wanted to prove that Ten Hag was better from whatever we were seeing under Ruben. Some were Rashford fans. I won't get into that. Some are Meno fans who want to see Meno play and don't care whether Ruben is playing him or no. They just hate Ruben for not playing him. So you have already lost like 95% of the fan base. Your results don't justify it. The only people who are really backing you is the board, and you go out and decide, you know what, all of you don't understand anything. It's normal that they tell you go home, and you're going home with £10 million.
I don't think he's an idiot.
No, he's not.
He's not an idiot. No,
I think he did it. Like the cynic in me is saying, you know what? He did that on purpose because he wanted that De Niro. He wanted out. And
he wanted the narrative to be his. He wanted the narrative to be his. He wanted to go out on his terms. I'm going out because I'm not being backed. But to be honest,
he always said he wasn't going to resign. He kept saying, I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to walk away.
Yeah, it was clear. Although in all his press conferences, he said it clearly. If they don't want me here, I'm going to leave the next day. So all of a sudden he came out and say, I'm not going to resign. It was totally clear that he wanted then his last words as a Manchester United manager to be, I'm not gonna back from what I'm doing. I mean, it was very strange for me after that game against Newcastle with us missing 8 players, putting the kind of performance we put at least in the first half. It was a good performance. And then you come out against Wolves and decide to ride it back with 3 defenders and 2 fullbacks. What were you doing? You were trying to prove a point to the detriment of the team. This is a sackable offense in itself. I don't care if you're trying to prove a point to the board.
I wanted to end this segment on a positive note with some positive things that Ruben achieved. And
I've got some.
Go. Let's go.
So, the one thing is, all of us can say, under previous managers, let's say Ralf Rangnick, Erik ten Hag, players have down tools.
Yes.
This time they've not.
No.
The mentality has definitely gotten better. We are in 7th place in the table right now.
We were 5th when he was sacked.
Yeah. So the thing is, let's be honest, we probably would have beaten Burnley under him. We should like if we played that game 99 times under Fletcher, we would win that. We just got unlucky. It is what it is.
We did, yeah.
But I think the squad, the composition, we're getting the players back from injury. We're in a good place. I still think there's a chance we get Europe. A lot of the players still liked Amorim as well. So, yeah.
Well, he's related to one of them, so that helps.
Yeah. The one that none of us fucking want there.
None of us want him.
Fucking, I wish he got sacked with him.
Yeah. If Dallo could leave in solidarity with his 14th cousin twice removed, we'd all be very appreciative.
And hopefully he becomes the fucking third removed cousin.
Yeah, that would be nice. Ollie, we need to talk about interim managers, and your namesake is leading the charge in terms of bookies' favourite to take us until the end of the season. Aside from having a colossal, orgasmic meltdown, what do you think of Ollie coming back to the club?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's almost hard for me to talk about because it's so surreal. I mean,
Yeah.
It's no secret I fucking love Ollie. Like,
We all
I
do.
named my dog after that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I love the guy. But like, what him coming back, I think what it means is a couple things. Number one, this is somebody who's tried and true at what you were talking about. Caretaker Ollie is quite literally, by every metric, and by every metric I mean number of points, number of wins, fewest number of losses for the first, I believe it was 24 games of any manager in Premier League history. He is the best caretaker in Premier League history.
So I've got your stat there. So he had 19 games as a caretaker manager of Manchester United before he was appointed, and he has a points per game as caretaker of 2.32.
Yeah, that's fucking absurd. Like, that is the best caretaker manager in Premier League history.
If he can give us 2/3 of that until May, we've got European football.
Yeah, we have European football, and honestly, this might be me getting giddy.
Don't say we're going to be in a title charge. Don't say we're going in a title charge.
No. We're going to win 21 this year, but I'm not saying
21 games, you mean?
Arsenal and Liverpool are drawing. We're still in it. Only 17 points.
Yeah, it is the single most boring game of the season as well, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're doing a podcast.
Yes.
And I've got Gabrielle in fantasy football. That's all I care about.
I mean, Liverpool goal right now would feed families, so.
Okay. Thanks, yes.
Anyway, let's get back to the pod.
Yes, if your career in law ever stalls, you could write a book on how to derail a podcast. Ollie, realistic expectations between now and the end of the season. If Ollie is appointed, he's definitely not going to be in for the Brighton game, which is an FA Cup game anyway. So Fletcher's going to take.
That's never going to happen anyway.
Yeah. So it's likely to be the Man City game.
Yep.
And he likes a game against Pep.
He loves a game against Pep.
I think anybody would like a game against Pep right now. City do not look good.
Hey, also, I mean, Holland loves Ollie. Maybe he'll see the grass is greener on the red side of Manchester. I'm just,
Someone on Twitter, and it made me laugh so hard. Someone on Twitter replied to one of my posts yesterday saying, and they said it really earnestly as well, do you think there's a chance we get Haaland now? I just thought that's so sweet.
Oh,
it's so
sweet summer child. Oh,
yeah.
Precious.
You just want to go, oh, bless you.
This makes sense why the average IQ, there's 50% people underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah. But realistically, where do you see Ollie taking the club?
I do think Champions League is realistic. I think Champions League is absolutely realistic. I think that so first, league is always the metric. That's the metric Ollie would want to be judged by. That's like, that is United through and through, is how do you do in the league? And like we said, we're probably not winning a title. I think Champions League spots is realistic. I think an FA Cup run is realistic. Obviously, Brighton, it sounds like is going to be Fletcher. Based on what we saw, I think Fletcher can get us through that. Ollie comes in. I think that a deep FA Cup run. Obviously, I'd love to see him lifting that trophy, but I think semifinals is kind of the expectation there. Cue the memes about, in 2021 when we were semifinal FC. Or sorry, 1920 when we were semifinal FC. I think that in terms of the other realistic expectation I have with Ollie, it is the thing I love most about Ollie is that he is not an ideologue. He is not somebody who's married to a particular system, who's married to a particular formation, who's married to even necessarily a particular, like, we'll be pragmatic when we need to be pragmatic, we'll be adventurous when we need to be adventurous. I think that one realistic expectation is I think we're going to see how these players fit into a variety of systems, into a variety of maybe positions for them. I know that I've had some conversations talking about, like, maybe we see Cunha in a false nine, maybe we see Mbumo going up front. Like, I think that Ollie's greatest strength is platforming his players, and I think we are going to see where the players at an individual level fit. And if, the Manchester United board makes the wrong decision and doesn't give him the permanent management position after he wins us 21, then the next manager we will know how the next manager can set up successfully, I think. I think that if Ollie can do those three things, a deep FA Cup run, Champions League football for next season, and show us how to platform the players, then I think that we can absolutely consider his time as caretaker as a success.
So, Paddy, we are currently, I'm working on the assumption that fifth is going to be a Champions League spot, right? Because the coefficient with
it should be. Right?
It should be. We are 1 point off fifth place and 3 points off fourth.
Anybody can get European places.
At the moment, so from 17th to fourth is 14 points, which is it's almost nothing. You could really easily go from fourth place to 14th in 2 game weeks.
Oh yeah. Sure, look at Newcastle. They're in sixth right now.
They're in sixth. Brentford are in fifth.
Yeah, it's so volatile.
It's really difficult to predict. It's almost like not one single person wants to go, right, that fourth place is mine, this fifth place is mine. We're going to really get into our stride now. Even Man City
go on a run.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, do you think there's a chance, whether it's Ollie or whether it's Carrick or whether even if it's Fletcher, because it's
Fletcher's because then we can't discount the fact that Fletcher could beat Brighton and they might have another game. Yeah, and the board might just say, "Yeah,
just stay where you are."
They really like Fletcher.
They do.
So and Fletcher is a yes man. Let's be fucking honest. As in, he has had so many roles at the club at this stage. He's embedded in there. He's not, as in, there's a future for him as manager there, regardless. And I think that's what they're seeing. So he's going to be there for a while. But I digress. What was your question?
my question was, do you see whoever does take over as caretaker, whether it be any of those three, do you think the board is saying to them, just stabilize the ship, just keep the players happy until we get to the summer and we'll reassess from there? Or do you think they're going, listen, you need to get us Champions League football?
If we don't spend in January, no, I don't think we get top 5.
Okay.
I think, to me, it's quite clear that if we get somebody like Ole in, we're going to have 3 central midfielders.
Yeah.
Right now we've got 4.
Yeah.
I know Collier is coming back, but
still 4.
Yeah, exactly. He could go back on loan. There's talks about Ugarte going at the end of the window as well. I don't see that happening, personally.
Ajax are interested, right?
Yeah, but so are Turkish clubs. And being honest, there's no point in us loaning with an option. No. Like, as in, an option, the only way that I can see that happening is if we get Conor Gallagher on loan. And everything coming out of Spain is saying that Conor Gallagher will only leave if it's permanent.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to me. As in, Atletico won't want to get rid of depth. But yeah.
They just lost to Real Madrid as well.
In the fucking Jeddah, isn't it? Or is it Kuwait? No,
It's in Jeddah, yeah. Speaking of which, the only other realistic option for a midfield spot is Ruben Neves, and I think
won't happen till summer.
That's it. You've posted today that the transfer stuff coming out of Saudi at the moment is
it's only outgoings. Like João Cancelo went to Barcelona on loan, and Neves is not gonna like. Because when did Neves go? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
He because thing is with UK law, you have to pay back so much of that, like 40% of that in tax.
Yeah.
As if Neves is gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. Like, because he'll leave in the summer if he is. And there's been talk in Saudi about him going to Al Ittihad and other clubs. He's not leaving anyone. He's not going to any other club apart from Al Hilal if he goes and stays in Saudi. It's the only way he's staying there. They're still trying to give him big pay packets. I think he still wants to play in Europe. And I do see United being an option. But Real have also been linked.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ruben Neves to me feels like a Man United player.
He does feel like a Man United player, and do you know what? He felt like a Ruben Amorim player as well. To be honest with you,
yeah, but he's quality. Like,
yeah. We'll do another podcast on midfielders and potential signings. But yes, what do you think the caretaker's first priority needs to be, whoever that is, when they get their feet under the table in the next couple of weeks?
Win some games. I don't think there is.
Get that lad's haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the players have down tools. When Ole came in after Mourinho, it was clear that the building was toxic. So his first job was to clear the toxicity out of the building. It's clearly the building is not toxic right now. So just win some games. But personally, I think even with the current squad, we have a good chance of getting top 5. Because as soon as the season gets on, all our competitors for European places are still playing in Europe. So sooner or later, physically, they should be out of it by the end of March, start of April. Liverpool are just a clown show right now, same as us. Chelsea, I'm not going to talk about that, really. Newcastle, they don't have the depths. Even if they get some players back, some others will get injured. Because of how tough their season is, they are still in Europe, they're still in the Champions League, and most probably they're still playing 4 more games at least in the Champions League. So I can see us getting top 5. I can see us finishing the season 4th or 5th, depending on if Arne Slot can get a tune out of this Liverpool squad or no. I don't see Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth, Fulham, all this type of teams as competitors for Champions League. Europa League,
maybe not for Champions League, no, but it's not guaranteed that we're a competitor for Champions League. We might be fighting these guys for a Europa League place or a Conference League place. It only takes 2 clubs to get their act together out of Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, and we're fighting for scraps.
We need to just sort out our defence. That's the first thing any manager does when he comes in here. Like, we've conceded over 30 goals already. Yeah. As in, that's like one of the worst in the league.
Honestly, the amount of free goals we conceded, like yesterday against Burnley, 2 free goals, one a screamer and one a deflection. A team has scored two goals from 1 shot on target.
One thing I'd add,
and you've got to deal with it, right?
One thing I'd add on the defensive side, in 2018, 2019, we had, I believe it was the 8th best defense. The season Ollie took over for Jose, we had, I believe it was the 8th best defense. We were thoroughly average in the league, Next season, we signed 2 players. Across the summer, we signed, ultimately we signed 3 or 4, but there were 2 players we signed on the defensive end. That was Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And the next year, we had the 2nd best defense in England. And the year after, we had the best defense in England in terms of goals conceded. And Ollie knows how to coach a team in terms of the defense.
We also have 2 sitting midfielders.
We did.
Yes. And that I mentioned this. I tweeted during the Burnley game that it would not surprise me at some point to see us play a 4-4-2 diamond with Ollie. And the reason that I said that is the only way I think you get Bruno, Mainu, and any semblance of defensive stability is if you go with the 4-4-2 diamond.
Would
Because
that be Bruno playing as one of the two top?
No, I think Bruno's your 10. I think Mainu's an 8. I think Ugarte's an 8, and I think Casemiro's an 6.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were talking like wide.
Buemo and Konya,
No,
Buemo and
4-4-2
Cunha
diamond.
playing.
Okay, I was like,
And then you go
Jesus
Sesko and
Christ.
Bruno up front.
Oh, no,
Sesko, Cunha.
I thought you were
and
saying
Buemo.
Mino as a
Cunha
DM, and I was like,
for
dear
Casemiro's.
Lord, we would be
Yeah.
destroyed.
But the reason I say that, and don't get me wrong, that has its own issues with surrendering width, surrendering national width. Your fullbacks can get pinned rather easily. But in terms of what worked for us defensively under Ole, like you mentioned, was those two, that double pivot as a shield. And the only way I think you get that with this current United team and still have a snowball's chance in hell of being effective offensively is if you have Bruno and Manu on the field as well. So if you want defensive stability, and another thing we could see is Bruno, or maybe Bruno or Manu playing that, the wingback role as well. But fundamentally, I think that our defensive personnel is better now than it was in 2020, 2021.
I'd agree with that. I think
I don't.
So centrally it is, because we were working with Lindelof. We've got Matthias de Ligt, we've got Harry Maguire, Lissandro Martinez, Aiden Heaven. There are central defender options. I think that's better than what we had.
Absolutely.
Maguire back then is better than all of these versions of what we have now.
That
potentially, yeah.
I don't think it's potentially. Maguire was an £80 million defender then, and he was one of the best defenders in the league.
He had a very big error in him every other game.
Not at that season, though.
Not that season, no.
Yeah. At that season, Maguire was one of the best defenders in the league, easily. I wouldn't consider any other defenders that right now. I know Man United fans all say that about De Ligt. De Ligt has been injured for half the season.
He has been injured for half the season, but when he's played, he's been very good.
Yeah, but availability is the most important thing in a centre-back.
Agreed.
Also, just, Paddy, I agree with you. We do not have... De Ligt, when he's been healthy, has been very, very good, I think, but he's not been healthy. So let's call that a moot point.
Same with Martinez. Same with Euro.
Same with Martinez.
Same with Maguire. Heaven's only playing because everybody else is injured.
Yep, and I don't think we have a center back who rises to the level of what Maguire was that season. That said, I think our top two choices in the aggregate right now are better than that Maguire plus Lindelof.
I think the thing is those two are not injured. And if you want to build stability at the back, you need to not be injured. You need consistency. You need to build a partnership. It's the same thing with any squad cohesion in football. The way that you get better is through familiarity. And Aiden Heaven's playing at right centre-back. He's left-footed. I know he's two-footed, yeah. But he's naturally left-sided. He's never really played anywhere other than the left side. And you can see the errors that he's making because of the fact he's not natural there.
Like, the error that he made was covering the right channel.
Yeah, but exactly when he slowed down against Brendan Aronson.
Yeah.
Like, as in, he's not used to looking over the shoulder that way because he's always on the left. It's just a natural thing. If you're playing on the left, you're going to look that way. If you're playing on the other side, you're not looking the other way. It's just not a natural reaction. But you learn that. He's young. But yeah, anyway, I disagree. I think we had a better defense.
Yeah. It's not like you. What do you think that the midfield needs to look like? Because that's where Ole was going with this, right? It's whether a midfield four in a diamond formation could potentially work, and then you're maybe limiting yourselves up front, or you're limiting yourselves on the wings.
I think we got a squad built for 4-2-3-1.
We do, and I think the most important part of that actually is actually putting Bruno in the place where he's supposed to play.
Yeah,
I have despaired for over a year now at Bruno playing as deep as he has.
He's been phenomenal this season, though.
He's been great, but how good would he have been in his actual position?
Absolutely, yeah.
The thing with Bruno is you can throw him at right back and he would look like one of the best.
He's going to put a shift in, yeah.
Because he's one of the best players in the world.
He basically played like Trent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he would look like. The thing with Bruno for me is if I never see him pick up the ball from a fucking center back again, it'll be too goddamn soon.
Yeah. I completely agree. You don't take your most potent weapon and put him in defence. You wouldn't move Haaland into central midfield.
I'd love to see it.
Pep does some weird shit, man.
But the point is the same. You put your most dangerous assets in the place where they could do the most damage.
Yeah. And Bruno in that shadow striker role is, I mean, he's the best in the world at it. And he has been the best in the world at it.
The issue is we don't know that anymore.
Yeah.
He
Fair.
just assisted Sesko yesterday from that position. So.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's at Burnley. But you know what I mean? Like, as in, how long has it been since he's played as a 10?
He's playing as a 10 for Portugal.
He plays as an 8.
He plays as an 8. He plays wide right as an 8.
I mean, but also the thing with Bruno is, let's look here at like the difference between Bruno stepping from the 8 to the 10. So you get him closer to goal just by nature of the position, just by nature of his starting position, right? As an 8, Bruno can still pick out passes through the hole in a needle, right? And he'll be able to do that as a 10. We have no worry about his range of passing. We have no worry about his ability to connect in terms of the angles. We have no question about his vision, execution. I don't see an issue with it. All you're doing fundamentally is, number one, getting him closer to goal. Number two, the other thing that was so underrated with him under Ollie was the ability to just ghost past your center forward. Take that run into space as that second striker, and I don't think he loses. I don't think there's anything to suggest he's lost that ability necessarily.
I don't think he has, but I still think that if we get a new manager in temporarily, I don't think he'll be a 10. I'd ideally like him to play 4-2-3-1, but it's more likely a 4-3-3. Where he's one of the 8s.
Which also works.
Yeah.
He plays in that position for Portugal.
He's got an engine, because he played like the left-hand side of it.
And Mainu likes to play on the left-hand side of midfield as well. So you've got Bruno on the right.
Mainu plays on the right.
No, he played on the left under Ten Hag in a 3.
Plays on.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he did. That's how he scored that famous goal against Wolves.
Okay, fair enough.
Plays on the left.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Anyway,
not the first time I've been wrong. Won't be the last time I've been wrong.
Look, I'm sure we'll get 30,000 comments in the on the
video.
Yeah.
We're at like 42 minutes into the pod right now. I'd say the percentage of listeners right now are me and you, LA.
Me and you, yeah, that probably, yeah. To be fair, Ollie might watch this one all the way through because he's in it.
I will.
Yas definitely won't watch.
I watched the last one actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Where was the comment?
Yeah. Where was the like?
I liked, but I didn't comment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a good point. Everybody who's still at this podcast right now, like and comment.
Let's do a social experiment. If you are still watching at this point in the podcast, press the like button so we know how many of you are still watching at this point in the podcast.
And then press the unlike button.
How does that help?
Press the dislike button.
That'll do. Yeah. Why not?
Press the. We want engagements, and you know what?
Yeah.
If you press the dislike button, you know what? Fuck you.
And we're blaming Ollie. So listen, gents, we've.
What a way to segue into the next section. Am I right, LA?
No, but I want to talk about Fletcher and Carrick because we've done a lot on. I know we've got very little time left in this section, but I do want to talk about them because they are very viable options as the interim. There was a report that came out today that that it was very unlikely that United would hire both Ollie and Carrick as a tandem pair, or with Carrick as an assistant. So let's take a look at Carrick and his credentials. Paddy, did you see much of him in the Championship?
No, I have a life.
Oh, fair enough.
Don't watch the champ.
Well, thank you for your insight.
You're welcome.
What do you think of him as an option?
I thought that he was a good manager whilst he was here. He had a long spell at Middlesbrough, and as soon as he got sacked the next season, Middlesbrough are challenging for promotion straight away. So,
does that say what you need to say?
Maybe it does, but I like Michael Carrick. I think he's a very good player.
He's a promising coach.
Yeah, I think he had a good spell when he was managing us. Yeah, I don't think he's.
How many games did he manage? Was it 4? Did he win 2 and draw 2?
The results were good, but as in, I see him sort of like a Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
As in, he steadied the ship. He got some good results. A likable ex-pro. I'd say verging on the point of legend. Him and Van Nistelrooy, not quite legend, but just like the level up beneath it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like, I
Like
have
a baby
nothing.
icon.
I have nothing bad to say about either of them. I'd gladly take him back at the club as a coach. But do I think he's good enough to be a interim manager? No.
Not for that sustained period of time.
Not for half a season, no.
No, and I think that if I can give my my 2 cents on it, I genuinely believe that if it was a 2 or 3 game period, like Rude did, like Ryan did, like Carrick did, I'd have no issue with Fletcher, no issue with Carrick. But when we're trying to compete at the top end of the table, not necessarily for titles, but to get into Europe and to give ourselves a stable platform for next season, it's too big of a job to give to somebody without that elite level Premier League experience as a manager.
Experience means a lot, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And Ollie has that experience at both ends of the table, both as Man United in a title chase, with Cardiff in a relegation scrap. He knows how to win ugly. He knows how to win pretty.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I think he knows how to galvanize a squad. There have been lots of comments, lots of people going back, and Ollie, you're one of them, picking up things that people said when he was first appointed, like the famous Ashley Young quote. Thank fuck we're talking about being Man United again. And I think that's kind of what the club needs at the moment. It needs an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And people might disagree with me and say, yeah, but he got sacked. Well, every manager's been sacked. I got into this fight recently.
Has Pep?
I think Pep hasn't actually been sacked. I don't think he has. But
Sir Alex didn't either.
Was he sacked from Aberdeen? No, he left. He left Aberdeen to go to
United.
Scotland national team, I think.
Scotland national team, maybe. But listen, 98% of the world's great coaches have been sacked. Arrigo Sacchi has been sacked. Tuchel's been sacked. Mourinho's been sacked. Mourinho's been fired from every job he's ever had.
Speaking about fetishes, Tuchel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard that story, right?
No.
Okay. I'm not saying it.
We're not monetized, just...
Yeah, but I'm not fucking getting sued.
Yeah, fair enough. You can use the word allegedly,
lawyers
right?
on the pod with you
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
just as in there was rumors about Tuchel in London about why him and his missus broke up. So yeah, just
I didn't hear this, and that's
I'll tell you
unusual.
after the
I'm
pod.
chronically
I'll tell you after the pod. I'll tell you after the pod. Yeah.
Send me a sneaky link.
I'm not sending you fucking links of the fucking places he was going to.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It involves swings.
Oh, I see. One of those places.
Yeah, swings and ladder.
Love that for him. Well, he's a German, so.
Whoa, xenophobia on the podcast, baby.
Nobody's watching at this point, Paddy. It's fine. But okay, while we're here, let's segue into Tuchel, because I think Tuchel is probably the standout name being bandied about as a summer appointment. Is that a smart move?
It's absolutely the worst decision you could ever make in your life. I think he's a class manager, but if they can't deal with Amorim fucking mounting up, Tuchel's known for being a mouty bollocks.
PSG, Chelsea, sacked from both clubs because he wanted control and the board wouldn't give it to him.
He already rejected us because of the fact he wanted to sign players like Rudiger, and we were like, nah. And then Amorim's like, I want to sign players, and they're like, nah. He wants too much control. It's never happening.
So, okay, who is a viable candidate?
Ollie?
Look at the sudden change in expression is beautiful to see.
Ollie is the bookmaker's favourite to genuinely be our manager at the start of next season. Now, this is a rogue one, but this is recent as well. PSG's manager has just said that he's not signing a new contract.
That's been debunked by Fabrizio today.
Oh, well. But then my news after just searching Man United manager before this has been absolutely pointless.
Yeah, so because I was excited about that as well, but Fabrizio came out today and said no, that is absolute nonsense.
But he's also being paid money by Xavi to fucking say, oh, Xavi will take the job at a fucking instant. That's a manager I don't want anywhere near us.
I'm not keen on Xavi. Thomas Frank, I like.
What?
I do like Thomas Frank.
What?
I'm not doing that. Sorry. I mean, we are seeing what's happening at Tottenham, so
I'll say this.
Why don't we have fucking
Okay.
Keith Andrews then?
I will
Why
kill myself
not?
before Thomas Frank becomes Manchester United manager.
So,
Seriously,
Thomas
this is where I draw the line. I'm sorry. I
Thomas
lived
Frank
under Ten
is a
Hag.
very
I
good
can't do
coach.
this anymore.
Thomas Frank is a very, very good coach. I think he's just being Spursified at the moment. Nobody goes to Spurs and does well.
Are you telling me that
Nobody.
Spurs
Beat
have
us in a European final.
Are you telling me that Spurs have a worse side than Brentford?
No, I just think the club as a whole is a clown car. I genuinely don't believe that it's Frank that's causing the issues at Tottenham.
Look at their players, man. They've got a much better squad than how they're performing.
That's also true.
Genuinely, as in like Coutinho, Romero, Van de Ven, arguably two of the better centre backs in the league. They can't defend.
They can't attack either. They can't do anything.
The thing I'd add about Thomas Frank, and this is not, I don't have much of an opinion on him, to be entirely honest with you. But the other day, when it was becoming clear, it was after the Wolves game, I said that I was going to mourn Amorim stacking the same way Erica Kirk has been mourning her husband's death.
Fucking walking out with a FIFA fucking thing. All the fireworks.
I've got my leather pants. There's a pyrotechnic show going in the back. It's good times. But there were two managers that spread outside of the United fan base, and there were two managers whose names kept getting repeated, with basically, oh, I'm going to do the same thing with them. And those were Maresca and Thomas Frank. If it gives you an idea of where the Tottenham fans feel about him, they are feeling the same way about Thomas Frank that I was feeling about Ruben Amorim, which that is a scary, scary thought to me. But again, I don't have a huge opinion of him myself, just kind of relaying from what people who find that kind of thing funny, what they responded.
I think the thing is with Brentford, like as in, it's not about the manager, as in it comes from way above. The whole system is defined by Matthew Benham, as in it's all, like as in they've got so much data, as in Star Lizard, I think it is, who he owns. I'm probably mixing up with Brighton. The two of them are like gambling mates.
Yeah,
and
Matthew Benham was a mate of Brighton owner, I think, Tony Bloom.
Tony Bloom, but they fell out because of something.
Before they fell out?
Yeah, but they are both very intelligent, statistical geniuses, and they've got so much data that they have like statistical things that we don't even know of. They're that advanced. But yeah, if I'm looking at the managers that are linked with us, like there's Maresca, there's Glasner, there's Southgate, there's Emery, there's and De Zerbi. My personal,
I don't want De Zerbi.
No, me neither, because fucking
he only signs rapists.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Funny thing with De Zerbi is he literally plays football in a different way to most major clubs, because Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, these clubs are not touching some of the players he will sign. Because of what has happened off the pitch. He has an entire market of players that he is willing to go get, and
it's working. And it's working.
It is working.
But here's the thing: he's still not going to beat PSG.
No.
Did he not beat PSG today?
No, they were actually leading in the 95th minute, and it was a total De Zerbi ball.
I love to see
PSG high line, and PSG played one pass behind his high back line, and they drew the game in the 95th minute. Because why the fuck aren't you sitting in a low block in the last minute in the game when there's 1 minute and you are gonna win a trophy for the first time from 13 years?
It's almost
it was crazy. It was crazy, honestly.
Also, the World Cup, I mean, other side of the World Cup, obviously Tuchel's name's being thrown around on the, he's currently England manager. Nagelsmann for Germany. Zidane has been waiting for that France job,
he's been waiting forever.
Yeah. But does he go back into club management if he
no, France? I don't think so.
No, I mean,
you don't think so?
No.
Deschamps is leaving after the World Cup anyway. The French Football Federation announced, and it's gonna be Zidane.
Zidane will be the France manager. I don't think Zidane only took the Real Madrid job because they asked him to. He would never have gone into club management without it.
Yeah,
because it was Real Madrid.
So realistically, I think the only one from the World Cup that could be a shake-up is Nagelsmann if he decides to leave Germany.
But it's Nagelsmann or Tuchel, isn't it? Or maybe Pochettino.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about Pochettino. And he's fucking dog shit as well. Like the board apparently. Sorry.
As an American, watching what he's done with our national team, man, fuck me, bring Amorim back. But yeah, like honestly, with the current managers available, I say just give it to Ole for 10 years or so.
I genuinely think that it could be Marco Silva. He did quite well in the interviews before it. He's out of contract in the summer, quite similar to Glasner. He's been in the Premier League for dog's years, and as well, is it dog's years or donkey's years?
Donkeys.
Dog's years. Let's just make it a thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the thing is, he's out of the contract. He's out of contract, like Glasner. Premier League proven. Plays four at the back. Solid defense. We could even sign Rodrigo Muniz off them.
Well, we could. What about Iraola?
Iraola, I think, has been found out. Everybody in the first 10 games of the season were saying, Bournemouth are a great team, and like now they're potentially getting relegated. So
Potentially.
I mean, it's a fucking massive shout from myself. But
all right. Well, look, I think there are some good options in there. There are some really not so good options in there. Who
would you go for, LA?
It's difficult because my heart wants to say Ole. My heart wants to say Ole. But I don't. I think there is a level that Ole gets to, and then I think he's got a ceiling.
I'd be happy with that level. I'd be fucking happy getting third and fourth place.
Also, here's the thing: like, if we're talking about the level Ole's at, look at where the league was in 2021. In 1920 and 2021, those 2 seasons, the level Ole had us playing at, that was going against Klopp and Pep in their fucking primes relative to the league.
And you also have to realize he got sacked because of Ronaldo.
He did get sacked because of Ronaldo. No, I'm very well versed in the circumstances around how Ole got sacked and why, and the mitigating circumstances around it, and him not getting the players that he asked for because the old board were a bunch of fucking morons.
We all know this.
But I don't think the new board is necessarily any fucking better, and I don't think they're necessarily going to back him in the way that he'd want to.
They're fucking
the new
arseholes.
Board, I think they like to feel like they're smarter than everybody else. That is how you tickle these guys' balls. You make them feel like they're smarter than everyone else. I think if Ole had called these guys instead of Ed to say, hey, there's this kid named Holland. He's 16. He's playing for me. You can get him for $2 million. I think the new board might have hopped on it.
Yeah, they're signing a lot of young players right now.
We are at the moment,
yeah. I think they would have hopped on that. Like that's and obviously going to Jude and Rice, all these guys at different stages. Who would the board bring in if they, if Ole had presented the same options as the current one? All I'm saying is that the level of 1920 was so much fucking higher than the level of the league today. I think the third best team from 1920 and 2021 is probably as good as the best team today. Or the best managed team is probably as good as the best team today.
Arsenal, though, still
Arsenal this season are very good. Well, that being said, they have just played out the single worst 0-0 draw that I have seen in quite some time. But
how are you hosting a podcast and watching a football match?
It's on above my head.
Fair enough.
I've got a TV screen there.
It's nice to know that I'm engaged at least and focused with Hasbulla.
Did you even notice that I was watching football?
Yeah,
no.
I can see it in your fucking glasses.
Dude, what you can see in my glasses is me. Look. There. Me. Anyway. My choice...
By the way, for people who are listening to this on Spotify, he just pointed at his penis.
I did. Mini me. Mini me. Paddy did this. I don't know if you saw last week's podcast, but Paddy did this last week as well and said, for those of you not who are listening on Spotify, LA is showing off a double-ended purple dildo. So that's fun.
And I didn't put it up on Spotify, but I will this one.
Yeah. If I had to choose right now, gun to my head, I'd probably say Ole, depending on how he gets on as caretaker, if he's even appointed as caretaker, because there's still no guarantee of that, right?
Yeah.
But let's put our cards on the table, gents. Ole, if you can take your username off the screen and out of your heart for just 1 second.
No bias.
No bias. In
No.
the summer, who would you appoint were you the United board?
I mean, I'm not going to be able to take my bias out of this. So let's pretend like Ollie, wins the Mega Millions and decides to, go.
Doesn't want to be a manager anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say Ollie steps away, right? If so, do whatever you can to pry Nagelsmann away from Germany. That's probably unrealistic. If you can't do that, I don't hate the idea of Xavi, honestly.
I do. I don't like that at all.
I don't blame you for not liking it. To be honest, it's just that Xavi's the only one that I find exciting, and I'd rather have exciting and risky than boring and flaccid.
Did Xavi not also fall out with the Barcelona board because of
money?
Yeah, money.
I think if you look at any of these, as in like if I'm looking at any of the managers who we've been linked with, like Maresca, Glasner, Xavi, Tuchel, all of these have argued with boards.
I mean, I also look at how they handle the players as well, because it goes both ways at United. You lose the players and the board, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Amorim lost the board, but not the players. Jose lost the players and then lost the board. You know what I mean? Like, it can go, you have to look both up and down from the manager's standpoint. For me and Maresca, I mean, that's a guy who was just an asshole to some of his players. I mean, he came in first 3 weeks and said, I've got this list of players who aren't training with me. We made a deal out of the bomb squad with Amorim. Imagine if that's, 12 fucking players. And admittedly, that's the scope of Chelsea's squad. So maybe proportionally, it's about the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that again. Then you've got, Maresca, you've got Xavi, who never really had issues with players, but had issues with the board. You've got Tuchel, who's had as many falling outs as Jose, or fallings out, I guess, as Jose did, both up and down. If you got to pick your poison, that's why I'm saying Xavi is. At least
he would at least play the youth, right? Because he is a youth-based manager.
Oh, and Kobe Mano would be the happiest kid in the fucking world. Imagine Manu getting to learn under that guy.
So you're going Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann, if you can't get him, then Xavi, I guess. Above both of them, let Ollie pick up that FA Cup, get us Champions League football, and then give him a 10-year contract.
Paddy.
I think it's going to be somebody with Premier League experience.
Yeah, I think they've asked for that recently, haven't they?
Yeah, and the two most logical based on that are Glasner and Marco Silva. Both of them are going to be free agents in the summer. If I had to choose between the two of them, I'd choose Solo.
Okay. Yes.
The realistic option, or I wouldn't say the realistic option.
Oh, I went realistic. I wouldn't choose somebody like Luis Enrique. Or
course,
Nagelsmann as well. I don't think that's realistic.
Do whatever you can to pry Luis Enrique out of Paris Saint-Germain.
Not going
You
to
won't
happen.
be able to, but someone can dream. The realistic option, as Paddy said, I actually agree with Ole. I don't hate the idea of Xavi, especially that Xavi actually
I'm begging for it.
He is, yeah.
And
He's twerking harder for the job than Ollie is.
He has been the manager of Barcelona, which is one of the few clubs in the world that you can say there is the same level of media and all players' pressure as Manchester United. So he knows how to deal with it. He would enter any dressing room and command respect instantly because he's Xavi, one of the best players in the last 30, 40 years, proven winner. has a pedigree, won a league title with Barcelona against a Real Madrid team that won the Champions League in that same season. So I don't hate the idea of Xavi as most people do. If I want a fun option, but it's gonna be a major risk, I would go for Sebastian Hoeneß, Stuttgart manager. They play some really exciting football.
It's a similar risk to Amorim, though, right?
It's not, because I actually think the level of Bundesliga is much higher, especially in managers, than the Portuguese league. And
I think they're
he
both
has
shit
been
leagues.
Yeah, I think that there's an
Bundesliga.
argument for them both being shit leagues, but also
Jurgen Klopp came from Bundesliga. Jurgen
Like
Klopp came
10
from
years
yeah,
ago.
but he came from a Bundesliga. He came from winning the Bundesliga.
And finished.
There's a real difference between managers that are managing at the
He
top
left
end
when
of
they
the
finished
table.
7th, I think.
Yeah, but
I
they
mean-
won it the season before or the season before that, right?
Yeah.
So, but the point I'm making here is that there is a real big difference between managers who manage in the middle of the table and managers that manage at the top of the table,
They are not.
and the pressures that go with it.
They are the Stuttgart are a Champions League team. They are sixth this season. They are not. They are a team that is in the same category of Leverkusen, Leipzig, and Dortmund. Also, I would be a bit wait for whatever Florentino Perez is gonna do at Real Madrid. If he sacks Alonso, throw the building at Xabi Alonso.
Never going to
Throw
happen
the
in a
building at
million
Xabi
years.
Alonso.
Never going to happen in a million years.
Why
I think
not?
Well, likely
He's
to
too-
Liverpool.
Yeah.
He played at Bayern Munich and was Bayern Leverkusen manager.
Yeah, but there's a difference between Bayern Munich and Bayern Leverkusen versus Manchester United.
He played at Liverpool for 4 years. It's not like he's a club legend at Liverpool.
No, but he is a club legend, and he's always affiliated himself as a club legend.
Also, the other thing with Xabi Alonso, I'd say, is that taking the United job disqualifies him from taking the Liverpool job at any
Yes.
point in the future. It would be like Ollie never would have taken the Liverpool job if someone had offered him, obviously, because it would have disqualified him from taking it.
I will say Mourinho's been around the block in the Premier League, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Mourinho gets around like a whore around the street.
Yeah, he's a slapper, to be fair.
He is. He is.
Also, real quick, sorry, I'm going to talk against myself here real quick. The fact that Xavi is twerking so hard for United and United have not gone in for him, I think means we're probably not going to in the summer.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's sort of like, if like a woman is really into you and then she just becomes automatically unattractive to you. Something like that.
I don't know how that feels.
But realistically, I think it's
I thought Yas was going to be like, me neither.
No, actually, I was gonna put my realistic expectations. I think it's between Glasner, Marco Silva, and Kieran McKenna.
Kieran McKenna's not a bad shot. We haven't talked about him,
Yeah.
but
I don't think he's in it anymore because.
No, but he is a promising young coach who should be under consideration, not necessarily one that will get the job.
I don't think he is anymore considered.
Well, he was considered very briefly for an interim role, right?
Yeah, not an interim role, a permanent role. When we were sacking Ten Hag in the summer.
No, I mean now, since Amorim's left, there have been reports of
No, absolutely not. He's not leaving
No.
Ipswich on an interim.
well,
No, absolutely not. There is one rogue one.
okay, let's hear it.
Ancelotti.
He's the Brazil manager. I don't think he's going to go back to club football. He wanted to retire, didn't he?
But that is a man who knows how to win.
He's also a man that knows how to get sacked.
Yeah. And we know how to pay out money.
Yes, we do.
But also with Ancelotti, I mean, someone made the point the other day that United have to accept that our identity is a lot closer to Real Madrid's than it is to Barcelona's.
Yeah.
And
I'd say it used to be. I don't think it is anymore.
I think it's United have wanted to be more like Barca, I think, in recent years. I do think like La Masia, obviously, like that and Carrington, there's some very clear, kind of analogs there. But in terms of are we really a system club? Can you say we're a system club?
No.
Like Barca is tiki-taka, Cruyff, total football. That's their lineage. The United lineage is Sir Matt Busby to Sir Alex Ferguson to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But that's more of it's an ethos that's not rooted in a system or a particular like kind of
People
tactical.
would say there is a United way, which is transitional.
Yeah,
It's transitional counter-attacking wing play. That's what I would say the United way is. Fast counter-attacking wing play. And I would say that's what it should be, but then if you look over the last few years, LVG isn't that.
Jose's not that.
Amorim's not that. Ranić is gegenpressing.
yeah.
As in, Moyes, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Moyes never really got a chance to implement the system. He inherited Sir Alex's, carried it on for half a season, and then was gone.
To be fair, like, as in all the players were done at that stage.
They were all retiring, yeah.
And then also they didn't respect him even slightly.
No.
But yeah.
No. Okay. Well, that feels like a natural place to call it a day, gents.
Yassin's getting very tired here.
He is, bless him.
No, I'm not. I'm not getting tired. I actually had a good shout, but I wouldn't say it out loud. But there is another bold manager that's sitting at City who may leave. Who may leave them at the end of the season.
Would you fuck off?
Right, now that is a good place to end the podcast.
Yeah, you're definitely fucking tired.
Gentlemen, thank you very, very much for joining me this week. Really appreciate it. Paddy, Ollie, and Yas, you are legends in your own right. If you haven't already, don't forget to press the like button, leave your comment on who you think the next manager should be, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
And now it's the outro, so let's keep on talking over it.
Oh yeah, that's a new thing. We've got to talk over the outro.
Yes, that was a fucking terrible prediction.
It was horrific.
What the fuck, man?
Pep Guardiola is a fucking